Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. Okay, we have an awesome turnout this afternoon. Probably the biggest turnout we've ever had at a webinar. So that's really fantastic. Obviously there's a lot of interest in this subject and there's a lot of misinformation going around as well. So really it's quite difficult for you out there to really know what's going on. I hope that I'll be able to enlighten you a little bit. A few weeks ago, I sent out an email in the hope of enlightening people as to which companies this iXBRL filing was going to be applicable to. I think there's a lot of marketers out there who are trying to put the fear into all of us, when the facts seem to be that this isn't actually going to apply to a lot of small practitioners. So at least that's how I understand it from in this email. We've got the criteria for filing or submitting iXBRL to CIPC, and it would seem that it's just a lot of the bigger companies, and that it may not even be applicable to a lot of the small practitioners. Obviously, my chief concern in creating this new product, iXBRL Mate, was for our existing Audit Mate and Accounts Mate users. You're the guys that I look after, and I didn't want you to be left in a situation where we couldn't help you. I must say, initially, when I looked at iXBRL, I realized just how complicated it is. This isn't something that you can just do for yourself. You really do need software that's going to do this for you. It's not a thing that you can just copy paste and submit. So when I first started looking at this, I thought, ooh, this is really something to get your head around. And I was looking at other service providers, in fact, to see if I couldn't find someone who's already had experience in this, and because there are quite a few overseas players who are offering their services. But in making contact with those guys, I was disappointed, to say the least. I think the guys just see big numbers in this, and they want big fees for it. And I've seen, well, I haven't seen anyone offering less than kind of 1,800 Rand per submission so far. So I realize some of those are what they call white glove services, where they help the client to do the entire submission, and obviously that takes time and effort. But I think as accountants, we really would like to be able to do this ourselves for our clients, without having to charge them an arm and a leg for it. So I ended up creating iXBRL Mate. So that's a little bit of background on it. I just want to launch a poll, okay? We'll just go through this on who needs to submit. So as I understand, it's if you've previously been submitting your financial statements in PDFs to CIPC, then, sorry, if you've previously been submitting your PDFs to CIPC, now you're going to submit them as an iXBRL file. Fair enough. But who does it apply to? Okay. So firstly, if your company says that you must be audited, then you're going to fall into the scope. Okay. So if the MOI says you're going to be audited, you're going to be submitting. Okay. Secondly, if your entity is a private or personal liability company, okay, so not a state company, because we know the state companies have to do this as well. If it holds assets in a fiduciary capacity, okay, so these guys are high public interest, that's also going to go. Okay, if it's a personal liability company, AFS internally prepared. Okay, so like if the director or one of the owners prepares the financial statements, and the PR score is a 100 or more. Okay, so that could bring in a few of the not so big companies. That's a possibility. But of course, because the company then falls into being audited. Okay, if the company doesn't want to be audited, well, then they can just get an independent accounting professional to prepare those financials and fall outside of the audit scope, outside of the iXBRL scope. Okay, if your entity has its AFS compiled by an independent party, but it's got a PR score of more than 350. So now we're talking the larger companies. And then the other point here is if it's subject to independent review because it's not owner managed, then you could fall in with the more or less than the 100, depending on who compiles the financial statements. I'm just going to put up a quick poll and to get an idea of how many of you are likely to be submitting financial statements in iXBRL format. So how many of them fall into these categories that we've just looked at just now? Look, I think in the future, I think iXBRL is going to grow because CIPC are the ones who are taking it on now, but there'll be other government entities which take it on later. Okay, Janae, she makes a good point here. She says that in the past, they've done financials instead of the financial accountability supplement because the FAS was a lot more work. So now the financials are going to be a lot more work. So you really got to look at what is required for each one of your clients. There you go. So you can all see what the results of that poll were. All of you can get that info. Even some of our competitors who are watching our webinar today. All right. So we've created a product. We've called it iXBRL Mate because all our software is something mate. Okay, audit mate, accounts mate, client mate, time mate, tax mate. Because we want to be your mates. So you know, we're your friends in this small accounting practice environment. You know, I was in practice myself for 10 years. For the last 15 years, I've been helping small practitioners, and that's what I want to do, and that's what I do every day. A lot of you here today, I interact with maybe weekly, maybe not that often, maybe every month. When you've got little bugs or difficulties in doing a set of financial statements, a lot of you call me. It's not even often an audit mate issue or an accounts mate issue. It's just an accounting issue, and I'm available, and I like to chat to you and I like to help you guys. Right, so I'm going to start off by showing you the easy way. All right, and the easy way, of course, is this program being part of our suite of programs is fully integrated with Audit Mate, Accounts Mate. So if you are preparing financial statements using Audit Mate and Accounts Mate, preparing your iXBRL file is going to be straightforward and easy. Okay, please just note this is still under development, and it will be under development for quite a while. Because I looked around at other software before developing my own, I'm a little bit late to the party in terms of getting this development underway. And CIPC had a developers panel, which I actually wasn't part of for various reasons, but maybe our client base is too small that they didn't let me know about it. And then to get on the panel, you need to, it's a mission. So I didn't manage to get onto the panel, but I did manage to, just before they cut off the pilot testing program 2 weeks ago, I did manage to use this program to make a successful submission into their portal, and our name is on that list of 60 submissions that were successful, and you'll see ITmate software on that list if you look on the CIPC website. So we have been successful in doing this. It is under development and we haven't managed to test all the scenarios. And that's one of the reasons why you'll see we're making this program free for the next 2 months. Okay, so until the end of August, the program is free. And it's free because while we hope that it's going to work completely for you or perfectly for you, it may not do. And so there's going to be some backwards and forwards between us. There's going to be some testing happening. There's going to be support from my side. But we're going to iron out all the wrinkles in that time to get a product that works absolutely smoothly. Okay, we don't have live test data. So we need test data. So we want to partner with you guys to get this thing going. And then we're going to make it available. We haven't finalized the price on it yet, but probably between 1,500 and 2,000 Rand per copy. But I see that an office will probably just need 1 copy, because this is a thing that happens at the end of the financial statement process. So whoever's prepared those financial statements, they can just bring it along, open it up in this program and create the iXBRL file. So you'll probably only need 1 copy per office. Obviously it's streamlined to work with AuditMate, which I'm going to show you now. And it's also possible to work with any Excel set of financial statements. And possibly down the line, we're going to grow that to, we'll see just now how it tags into the Excel financials, but we hope to grow that to be able to tag into, say, PDF documents or Word documents, or maybe just to copy and paste. We haven't got to that part yet. My first concern is that it works properly and efficiently with AuditMate and with AccountsMate. Right. Yes, Janae asks a question, and I want to just clarify that. That yes, the program is licensed per computer that it's installed on, and then you can produce as many iXBRL submissions as you want. If you've got 100, you can do 100 just on the 1 program. It's not a price per set that is converted to iXBRL. Okay, a lot of the competing products are, $650 per company, or 1,800 Rand or 2,400 Rand per company. No, that's not what we're doing. It's a program that you can use as many times as you like. And that price is per year, not per month. So it's going to be a very reasonable cost. I have a question of, will it work with caseware? Well, I don't know. Down the line, yes, if you can get the caseware into a PDF document, we hope to be able to tag into that. At this stage, we're just tagging into Excel. Okay, let's dive in. So we're going to look now at the most streamlined way that this works. So if we've got an AuditMate client that we've prepared the financial statements in, then we can just come straight into iXBRL Mate, go and choose that client and open it up. All right, a little bit about this screen. First thing we look at here on the left-hand side, this essentially is a report writer. Okay, it's an iXBRL report writer. So this left-hand side is all the lines in the document. And you'll notice these labels: customer code, submission date, name of company, etc. And what we need to do is we need to get data into these lines so that we're going to be producing this iXBRL file at the end of the day. Okay, this is one that I've worked on. So, right, let's first thing I do is I link this to a set of annual financial statements, which are a set of audit-mate annual financials. Okay, so if I click on the AFS file, I'm in the client folder, I just choose the AFS. Okay, so specified which set of financials we're looking at. If it highlights here, if I click on that, it's going to open up my Excel financials. Just opened up on the wrong screen, so I'm just going to drag that across. Okay, so there's my set of Excel financial statements. All our audit-mate users will be familiar with what that looks like. Okay, I can just minimize that for now. In fact, I'm not going to minimize it. I'm going to just save that. Right, so I specified which financial statements we're going to be tagging to. I specified the name of the company, the registration number, and the various dates. So the start date and the end date of the financial reporting period. And the rounding, I've said that there's no rounding on this. The next thing, move along to process. Okay, I'm just going to clear all the values. And so this is like a blank file that we're now going to tie up to our AFS. You'll notice we've got quite a few, we've got these columns here with these like bugs in it. These ones with crosses and frowny faces. Okay, these are all mean something, all right? Basically, the bug ones are saying, well, there's no data come through. So this is a column with our values in it. There's no data in here yet. The crosses are saying we have to have data. And the frowny faces are saying there's a warning if the data is missing. Okay, this is already pre-tagged to the financial statements that come out of audit-mate. Okay, now this is in the new templates, okay, which haven't yet been released. They're going to be out next week with this product. Okay, what I can do is I just click on this button to extract values. And it's going to open up my Excel financials. And it's going to now go through and it's going to draw out all this information. So there we go, 10 seconds later, we've got all the pre-tagged information pulled through into here. So you can see here, name of company, that had an Excel link, and now the value is in here. All right, and the value shows over here. Now it's in a place where I can actually edit it if I needed to. All right, all those bugs that were in that column, they're all gone. Okay, because the information came through. It's already pre-tagged. All that's left for me to do is to go through and look at all the items that have got these crosses next to them or the frowny faces. Because these are items that CIPC want in the iXBRL that are not part of the financial statements. Now, there are quite a lot of items like this. You see, obviously the first one is our customer code. Okay, that's our CIPC customer code. That's not in the financial statements. Okay, so I can just type it in here and save. Okay, and the little black cross goes away. So I've dealt with that one. Type of company, let's go there. Okay, what type of company is it? Now CIPC have given us a list that we must select from. So in this case, this is a CC. I'm going to click there, domestic closed corporation. The black cross has gone away. Let's move to the next one. Business address, country. Okay, now I need to put a little bit of a help tip on here because for the country, you can't type South Africa. You have to use the international standard description, which is ZAF. Okay, save it. We dealt with. Postal address, same as business address. Okay, now the postal address, I linked with, sorry, the business address I linked to the financial statements because that was included on the general information page. Is the post address the same? I can say yes or no. So in this case, I'll say true. That goes away. Okay, move down to the next one. Okay, let's move down a little bit so we can see. Okay, average number of employees. I don't have that in my financial statements. As part of the public interest score, let's fill it in. I've only got 2. Actually, I don't got much more than 2. Okay, but this is just an example. Maximum number of individuals with beneficial interests. Okay, let's just put 2 in there as well. Save it. What is the public interest score? Okay, it's going to be my turnover, my liabilities, etc., etc. Let's just put 40 in here. Okay, now moving down. So there are quite a few items here that aren't on the face of the financials. Okay, so I can't link to them. I need to actually fill them in. So description of the nature of the financial statements. Let's go general purpose. Let's save it. Right. Description of presentation currency. Okay. Level of rounding. Okay, so I've just got to fill these in. Period covered. Oh, okay. What is the period covered? There we go. It's there. It's 12 months. Okay. End of reporting period. So that was February 2017. Date of approval of financial statements. Okay, let's put in a date for that. Date of publication. Okay, see, these things may or may not be on the face of the financials. If they are on the, if you've actually got them in the financials, we can tag them and link them in there as well. But I'll show you how the tagging works later. This is the pre-tagged ones. We're just trying to see now, how long does it actually take to prepare these financials? Okay, were these financial statements audited? Yes. I can just drag the column a little bit bigger if I want to see. Okay. Financial statements internally compiled? No. Independently compiled and reported? Yes. Okay, now that doesn't mean did it have an independent review. All right, that's not what that question means. CIPC have got their own way of wording things. Right, date of audit of the financial statements. So that would have been before they were signed off. Okay, the name of the auditor. So this will be the person's actual name. The name of their company. Okay, they might not have a company. That's why it's just a frowny face. So it's not, when it says warning if missing, the warning is when you submit the iXBRL file to CIPC, if this information is missing, it tells you, oh, this information was missing, but it doesn't stop you doing the submission. Okay, so they would like to see this information. So if it's there, we put it in there. So we ideally don't want, well, we don't want any crosses in this column because it won't go through. But if we have frowny faces, it doesn't matter. So in this case, we had an audit, not an independent review. So these are, we can leave them blank. Okay, professional designation of the individual responsible for preparing the financial statements. All right, let's have a look. Here's a list of them. Let's fill them in. Okay, declarations and responsibilities. Okay, so were the financials signed? Yes, they were. Is there an auditor's report? Yes. Is there a director's report? Yes. Okay, let's carry on. Practice number of person designated for performing the independent review. Okay, we didn't have an independent review, so that frowny face can stay like it is. Let's carry on down. And these are all the numbers that were attached or that were tagged and got pulled through. Right at the end, okay, we have a few items that are what are called block tagged. Right, so the first one of those is the director's report. Okay, it's a text block. So we have it tagged as a whole block of text in Excel, and it all comes through and shows on the right like this. Okay, director's responsibility, and then instead of tagging all the notes, you just block tag all the notes into one block. Okay, in the future, this is going to be extended, and we probably will have to tag each one of the notes. But for now, we can just block tag everything. So there's a block tag of the accounting policies, and there's a block tag of all the notes. Right, so this is our report that we're going to iXBRL. We've tagged everything. We sucked it all in from Excel. We filled in all the blanks. We can go up the list. We've just got a frowny face and no crosses. So this should be all right. We'll go to process and I click on create iXBRL file. It's done it. And if we highlight it here and click on it, it's going to open in our web browser. Now, the iXBRL file is both machine readable and human readable. And this is the human readable that we're looking at. The machine part is all in the code behind this. So this report comes out in the same order as we had in our report writer. Okay, so there's all the details. And then here's our block tag items. Here's some more of our financial summary items and some more of our block tag items. And that's it. That iXBRL file is now created. Pretty simple for the end user. Okay, if you want to have a look at what's inside this thing. Okay, if you and you go to view page source, you'll see what's inside now. Okay, and you might say, well, what does all this mean? In fact, let's make the text a little bit bigger so you can see some of this. All right, look at all this stuff, all this cross-linking. This is what iXBRL is all about. It's how these things all relate to each other. Okay, then we got a whole lot of styling, and then this is some metadata. Then we get down to the actual content. Okay, and this is what each line of text that you saw earlier is all this. And this is the this sort of thing, this is part of the taxonomy. This is what CIPC have said, registration number of company, and here it is. And this is how the machine can read it. But what we see is a completely different thing. It's this. Okay, so that was pretty straightforward. Okay, we haven't, unfortunately, because CIPC's submission portal is down. Okay, it's been down from the 15th, and it's coming live at 8 o'clock on the 1st of July. I can't show you how we actually now submit the file, but it basically gets uploaded, then it gets checked by their system, and if it's all hunky-dory, then it goes through. You get an email saying your submission was successful. There's also a validations setting or system and what will happen is when we've created this file, we haven't put it in here yet because the validation server is also down on the CIPC side. But we'll submit the file to the validation server and get it to come back with any errors or any problems that we might encounter. But then that is the file that you submit. That's what goes up, and then you're done. Right, so this was, yeah, actually, that looks really so simple, but what's gone on in the background of there is ultra complex. And but we've created a solution that really works and looks easy, and you should be able to work with this. If there are problems along the way, there's all sorts of little debugging tools in here. So where we might have problems is related to maybe a whole block of text that comes in here. Then we've got a little editor, and we can actually go and have a look and see what's actually inside there, and we can edit it if we need to. Same with this iXBRL file that's created there. We've got an editor, and you can go and have a look, and you can work in it, make changes as well. There's like a final tweak that needs to be adjusted before it can be submitted, that sort of thing. So we've got tools that are built in here to be able to tweak these things. And of course, you're going to just pick up the phone, and you're going to phone me. We're going to connect up with TeamViewer, and we're going to have a look at it together and sort it out. Right, so now, what if you don't have AuditMate? What if you're not an AuditMate user, or your financial statements are the ones that you've already prepared and are not using the tagged templates? Okay, well, we need a way to deal with that, don't we? So let's go and have a look at that. What we'll do, we're just going to open a client here, and we've got an existing client on the system. So let's go find an audit. Okay, it could be an AuditMate client that, as I said, has Excel financials that didn't have all the tags in, or it might be your own Excel set of financial statements. So this is a brand new one. This is the report writer. This is what we want to get the data into here. First we do select the AFS. Okay, the AFS inside this folder is there. Company name, let's just call it something. Okay, level of rounding, company registration number, start date. Okay, let's go back. And right, now we want to tag this thing. Okay, this is where it's really helpful if you've got two monitors. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this on one monitor, but so let's open the financial statements first. Okay, so this is an Excel set of financials, maybe from AuditMate, maybe from something else. Doesn't matter, as long as it's Excel. Okay, the first item that we're going to deal with, that we need to deal with, is a customer code. Okay, that's not a pre-tagged thing, so that's going to be something that we just type in. Okay, a submission date, I can make that today. Okay, company particulars. Right, now we have, or the way that we tag this is using what is called Excel named ranges. And that's what this Excel link is. Every line item that needs to be tagged, or that can be tagged, well, yes, every line item that needs to be tagged has got one of these named ranges. And we need to just point it to the right place in Excel. And we try to make it simple to do that. So for name of company, if I highlight name of company row, click on this link, it's now copying this link text into the clipboard. I'll go to my Excel financials, and I'm dealing with the name of the company. So I can pick that up from many places in my financial statements. I like to pick it up from the general information page. So I would go to that line that's got it on. I'll highlight the line, then I click up here and I press Control V. And that puts that text into there. I press Enter, and what it's done is it's kind of renamed, or it's given a named range to this cell called ENR 0051. When I'm finished and I come here and I click on this extract values, what happens is this system runs through and it goes into the Excel file, looks for that named range and pulls that data in. So that's how we do the linking, how we do the tagging. Okay, let's do the next one. Full registered name of company. Click on the link, open up Excel. Full registered name, well, actually, it's the same place. I can highlight it, go there, Control V. Now that thing's actually got two named ranges, but that's not a problem. Excel is quite comfortable with that. Let's go back. Let's do the next one. Registration number of company. Click on the link. Okay, you notice it's named range 11. Go into Excel. Okay, here's the registration number of the company. Click on it. Go to that cell, Control V. Okay, this is how we do the linking. Next item, business address or street name. Okay, click on the link. Come in here. Okay, I don't actually have some addresses in here, but I'll go to that cell. Okay, Control V. That's linked it. Got the idea? Not going to go through the whole thing because I'm going to show you then how the errors come up. Let's just go to something that's got a block tag. So if we run down here, we're looking for the, here we go, director's report. Okay, so we want to block tag the director's report. Click on the link, go to Excel, go to the page which has got the director's report. And we can just select the entire director's report, right down to the bottom. Okay, once I've selected it, click into this cell, Control V, enter. So that's a named range of the entire director's report. I think Excel is pretty cool too. Okay, I'm going to just stop at this stage. And now I'm going to go and extract those values. So let me go to my Excel, close it and save it. And let's go extract those values. It opens up Excel. And now it works its way through, pulling out all those named ranges. All right. So we're still on the director's report. There we are. It's all come through. Okay, I haven't tagged the next one, so it's not there, but that one's there. Let's go back up to where we started. Customer code we typed in. This we linked. All right. Pulled all these through. Okay, that one, because the business address, it didn't actually have any text in, so it came out a bit wonky. Okay, so I can just save that. I could, if I don't have a link in the Excel, obviously I can type those things in. That's what the windows on the right-hand side are for. All right, so we would work through this, and all the ones that are black crosses and all the ones that are bugs, we need to go link them up and then pull them through. But I've shown you how that works. And yeah, and then it's a case of just create the iXBRL file, and we'll be done. Okay, so even if it's a set of financials that wasn't done on AuditMate, you can still put it all together. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and do it. It might take, I guess it might take 15 minutes, whereas it's 5 minutes for the AuditMate one. But we've got a system that will work in either of those scenarios. And we hope to extend the system further into linking into other formats like Word or PDF. But this was what we wanted to do first of all. Right, there are a few questions here. So I just want to have a look at them. If you've got any other questions, you are welcome to put up your hand. Well, sorry, just type them in the questions box and we'll have a look at them. Sorry, Patricia wanted to know, am I pressing enter after Control V? Like, I think meaning like in the financial statements. So when I'm tagging it, I'll just show you that again, just to be absolutely clear. Let's take an item that we haven't tagged here yet. Let's do that business address street name. Okay, so I'll highlight here, click on the link, go to my Excel. Okay, so the street name would be in this cell here. It's there. So I would highlight there, click up there, Control V, that pastes from my clipboard, and then press enter. All right, that's then marking that cell as having that name. And now look, I actually put it in the wrong cell. Okay, I meant to put it there and I ended up putting it there. So what do I do in that case? Right, it's a good thing you asked. If you go to formulas and you go to this one here called name manager. So that's formulas, name manager. This is all the named ranges that are inside this worksheet. So I can go down and I can find that one, number 15 there. I put it in the wrong place, so I'm just going to delete it. So yes, and it's gone. So now I can go to the right place, click up there, Control V, and enter. Right, that was a good thing that we made a mistake there, eh? Or that I made a mistake. Okay, let's see. Okay, Michael wants to know, does it only work on Excel or can it work on numbers on a Mac? It's a Windows program, so it needs to be Excel. No, it needs to be Excel. You could do copy paste. A lot of stuff you can do copy paste. Okay, so you could have something else open and you can paste into these value fields on this side and then save. I'm not sure how well that would work with block tagging the whole notes. Okay, so at this stage, I don't think we could block tag copy paste into there. It is something I have been fiddling around with, and it is something that we will get to, but right this minute, you can't do it. Okay, the software also is not available to you right this minute, but I'm hoping that sort of middle of next week we'll put out the first version. I don't want to put out a release that's still got some bugs in it, and I need to test the validations into the CIPC server. That's only coming online on Sunday night. So I need to test a couple of those, make sure that we're working okay before I release the software. So you will have to be a little bit patient. Yeah, good point here. All this tagging is like permanent linking, which permanently links to that file. So by creating these Excel named ranges and using the named ranges in Excel, we have created a permanent link to that file. So the next year, particularly with AuditMate, where you do your roll forward, all this pre-linking is already in place. You don't have to do it again. So you only link once. When you roll forward that AFS file, it's the same AFS file, and all the pre-linking is still in place. So very efficient the next year. Okay, Eugene says he'd love to be a beta tester. Well, you can all be beta testers. That's the deal. 2 months free, or to the end of August. You can use this for free, and effectively you're helping us in the beta program. But you're not just helping us, you're helping everyone who's going to be a user of this. So you're helping all these small practitioners who we're trying to help. Okay, Andrew says, well done. Thanks, Andrew. I'll tell you what, it's been difficult. But I'm very happy with what I've come up with at the end of the day. I think it's simple, it's understandable. I hadn't mentioned earlier, but we've got IFRS SMEs and IFRS full on here. So the reporting just changes depending. Yeah, this is something that's going to grow, because I think as more government departments want this information, they're going to be asking it also in iXBRL format, and we built something that can grow, and we can meet their needs. As soon as we release the product, we'll let you know so that you can download it and start using it if it's going to meet your needs. If any of you have got any questions about iXBRL, you're welcome to pick up the phone and phone me. Would love to hear from you. Love to hear what sort of challenges you're facing along the way, and we just want to help if we can. So I want to just say thanks to everyone for coming today. And yeah, I've really enjoyed showing this to you, and I look forward to chatting to you in the future.